am designing a paper concertina to send to potential clients. I've recently been enjoying gardening, so that's what I'm basing my illustration on today. Nature is always inspiring to me. Quite a versatile market for publishers and magazine people. Nature pops up a lot, and I think it's a really key part of my practice. This piece is going to be 3 panels of A6 joined together. I did this spread the other day and I went through a vintage home interiors magazine, and I really liked all of these patterns and shapes. I'm particularly drawn to arches at the moment, and I think they fit in really well with a garden setting, so I'm going to try and include some arches in my concertina. And the other thing I'm trying to play with is layering up different shapes over the top of each other and making it a little more abstract and playing with scale and things, which I'm finding really interesting, and not making things perfectly perspective, perfect proportions, but still keeping these beautiful floral shapes of these were celandines, and this was these beautiful bright green leaves of hydrangeas, which just looked fantastic against the stone wall. So yeah, I'm going to try and use some of this as inspiration for my concertina, as well as using some inspiration from outside as well. As usual, I'm going to be using mixed media. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. I really loved using this blue Ecoline liquid watercolour the other day on my sketchbook, so I thought I'd pop it in here. I'm sort of making a shape that will go across the whole concertina and flow out. That's the plan. And I love adding yellow in with green. I think it just really adds that sort of vibrancy that you get when sunlight flows through leaves. So I've made a list of people I want to send my work to, and I've also thought about what I want to send them. I've really been enjoying gardening recently, and I think it's important to share who you are as a person in your submissions to publishers, because then they get an idea of what projects would suit you more, because you're naturally going to be drawn to something that you're interested in an area outside of illustration. So it's good to notice what influences you beyond your sketchbook, what television shows you like to watch, what books you like to read, just any interests and hobbies you have. Think about how you could use them in any submissions that you do or within your portfolio. And then within those hobbies and interests, it's really helpful to identify sort of 3 things that influence your work. So for me, it's nature, nostalgia and hope. And I've been following these interests since about 2018, and they've really developed over the master's course that I did. So I'm excited to see where they go next now that I've finished. I really liked these red nasturtiums that I'd seen the other day at the Devon Rural Archive at Shilston. And I think them right in the centre will add just this really nice pop of red right in the middle of the concertina. I often like to work in layers, so I layer up materials. They sort of build on each other and you get this really nice effect. It's interesting putting the yellow over the top of the red. It sort of brings out the oranges a bit more on the nasturtiums. So stylistically, I think you can sort of see, it doesn't matter what medium you've used, there's just this echo of your hand in it. So I think for illustrators to remain relevant in this growing AI situation, really important to emphasize the humanity within our work, and incorporating your personal interests really backs that up, because obviously you are a human and you have human interests. I've been trying to work out how to tackle this section with all of this sort of detailing that came from that interiors magazine that I was talking about earlier, this pattern here. And I quite like that it looks like a fence, so it's trying to work out how to put colour behind here and what I want light and dark and how I'm going to fit this archway in somehow. So that's what I'm going to tackle next. These leaves are stripy on the actual plant. The more I paint of this fence, the more it looks like stained glass, which I really like. I always find when light shines through stained glass, it's similar to how the light shines through leaves, which is nice. my canvas size to be A3 plus 3mm on each side, which is what the InDesign document calls for printing. I only have an A4 scanner at the moment, meaning when I work on larger scales like this, it makes it a bit tricky trying to line everything up perfectly. So I try and do my best and then go along with the eraser tool in Photoshop after layering them up. You always end up with like a little bit of a smudge in the middle where it's not quite focused, because obviously part of the scanner isn't quite in focus. So you can sort of blend the two by layering them up in 2 layers like this. I find it really useful to look through this set of paper samples that I got from Mixam. They come in different thicknesses and finishes, and they're really clearly labelled, and it's really helpful to be able to feel the weight of the paper before ordering. So I've had a very exciting delivery, and it's my concertinas. So if you haven't seen this side was a separate illustration that I did. But this side is the lovely greenhouse scene that I painted. I chose silk touch, silk finish paper. So it's got a slight sheen, but it shows the colours up really nicely, and I'm really happy with how the colours have turned out. They look exactly how I painted them, which is always a challenge when you're scanning things in and turning them digital and then turning them back into print. To get the colours matched is really tricky, but I'm really pleased with how Mixam's printed these. I think if I got them printed again, I would probably choose slightly thicker paper, because it's fine when it's folded like this, but it's a little flimsy when it stands up. But other than that, I'm really pleased. And we shall see how it goes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope that you get to spend some time in the garden. Bye!